The Art of Choosing. Part 1. The Turning Point. Until she turned 30, Azada had always been the good girl. The kind who texted back quickly, never let a man pay too much, and believed that patience and humility were the virtues of a good Central Asian woman. In Almaty that was expected. She never questioned it. But everything changed the week she picked up Why Men Love Bitches by Sherry Argov. At first, she laughed at the title. That's so Western, she thought. But the more she read, the more it began to unravel something deep inside her. Each chapter echoed with truth she never dared to speak aloud. Respect, self-worth, boundaries, words that had always felt abstract and vague now burned like neon signs. She closed the book that night with trembling hands and a new resolve. I'm going to test this, she whispered to herself, brushing her dark hair behind her ears. Not for revenge, not to play games, but to see who would rise to the challenge of loving her on her terms. Part 2. The Dating Experiment. The first test was simple. She met Timur, a handsome architect who suggested they cook dinner at her place. For their second date, old Azada would have made manti from scratch. New Azada boiled one egg, made a salad, and served it with a sweet smile. Timur looked confused. That's all? She laughed softly. I thought we were just getting to know each other. Didn't want to go overboard. That night, he took her to a rooftop restaurant instead. From there, the dates flowed in. A banker who gifted her a vintage bracelet. A pilot who took her to Lake Issyk in his private helicopter. A businessman from Tashkent who wrote poems about her eyes. She wasn't sleeping with them. She wasn't leading them on. She was learning what it meant to receive without guilt. To say no without apology. To let men show up or disappear on their own, without begging or bending. It was freedom, and it was powerful. Part 3. 3 Offers. By 32, she had traveled to 4 countries, launched her own jewelry line, and had 3 serious suitors. Each knew about the others. Each wanted her. Each offered her a life. 1. Leandro, the Swiss gentleman. Leandro was 42. A divorced software executive living in Lucerne. Polite, consistent, wealthy. His emails were full of little French phrases and invitations to museums. He made her feel like a European novel, polished, rare, precious. One night on a snowy terrace in Zermatt. Leandro. You know what I love most about you, Azada? Azada. What's that? Leandro. You don't need me. And that drives me wild. But I want you to want me. Want us. Azada. Smiling. I'm still learning what I want. Leandro. Then let me be your calm. A life of museums, fondue, weekend vineyards. No chaos, just devotion. 2. Rashid. The Dubai Dream. Rashid was 36. A Kazakh entrepreneur who moved to Dubai 10 years ago. He drove a matte black G-Wagon, wore Tom Ford cologne, and always smelled like money and ambition. He was the only one who spoke Kazakh fluently with her, and she felt seen with him, as if the world they left behind back home didn't matter. One evening in his penthouse overlooking the marina. Rashid. Say the word and tomorrow we'll fly to Seychelles. Or Paris. Wherever you want. Azada. Is it always this fast with you? Rashid. I don't wait. Not in business, not in love. I see what I want and I claim it. Azada. What if I don't want to be claimed? Rashid. Softening. Then I'll wait. For you, I will. 3. Daniel. The American poet. Daniel was 38. A literature professor from Boston with a deep voice and a subtle sadness in his eyes. They met at a writer's retreat in Prague. He wasn't flashy, but he listened. God, he listened. They talked about Rumi, about exile, about her late father's silence and what it meant to grow up in a culture where emotions were folded neatly and locked away. During a long walk through Prague's old town, Daniel, I know I can't give you castles or yachts, but I'll give you Sunday mornings, books by your pillow, love poems written only for you, Azada, and a little chaos. Daniel laughs. Maybe a little, but mostly peace. A home where you can just be. Part 4. Torn between three worlds. Her friends all had advice. Agaram, divorced at 33. Choose the one who worships you. Love fades. Worship lasts. Saul, married to a rich but absent husband. Choose the one who gives you freedom. Not everyone lets you fly. Her mother, over the phone in Scheimkent. Choose the one who will stay when you're old and no longer beautiful. But the truth was, she wasn't just choosing a man. She was choosing a life, a rhythm, a country, a version of herself. Part 5. The Final Dialogues. She invited each man to have a final talk. No pressure, just heart to heart. With Leandro in a garden in Geneva. Azada, you've shown me elegance, kindness. But are you ready for someone who comes with culture? Noise, tears and laughter all in one? Leandro, I want that. Even if I don't fully understand your world, I want to be part of it. Azata, even if it means my mother visits for 6 months and makes plov in your kitchen? Leandro, smiling, then I'll build a second kitchen. With Rashid, in the Dubai desert under a starlit tent. Rashid, why do you hesitate? I give you everything. Azada, because I don't want to be someone's prize. I want to be someone's partner. Rashid, you'd never be a prize. You'd be the queen. I'll build a kingdom for you. Azada, but would I be free to leave the kingdom if I changed my mind? Rashid, quietly, that's the question that scares me. With Daniel on a quiet bench in Boston Common. Daniel, you don't owe me an answer, but I had to try. Azada, you've been the only one who didn't ask me to change. Daniel, because you were already complete when I met you. I just wanted to witness you. Azada, tearfully, what if I choose the safe path and regret not choosing you? Daniel, then I'll write a book about it, and still love you in every chapter. Part 6. The Decision. Weeks passed. She stayed silent. She went to the mountains alone, walked barefoot through the grass of her childhood summer home, and let herself feel. Not the pressure, not the opinions, just her truth. She wrote in her journal, Leandro is peace, Rashid is power, Daniel is poetry. I am no longer choosing based on fear of being unloved. I'm choosing based on who I become when I'm with them. Part 7. The Answer. The final scene takes place at an airport. She's standing by the gate, passport in hand, a single suitcase, and a text she just sent. Daniel, I'm coming. Not because you waited, but because when I'm with you, I don't have to be anything I'm not. He replied, come home. The end.